I'm going to ask each you to take a couple of minutes and lay out what you think are the most important things that the practitioners on the webinar today should leave with top of mind. And Dr. Claire G, we'll start with you.
Sure. So I think the key takeaway from my segment is that as the FTC and private parties continue to bring antitrust actions, like the reverse payment cases that Jacqueline and George talked about, the relevant market issue may continue to be one of the focuses of those cases. And the debate on whether it is necessary to explicitly calculate cross-price elasticity, whether cross-price elasticity can be calculated given the data and the facts of the case, and how it can be measured may continue to be a point of contention. And while the economic tools for measuring cross-price elasticity are well developed, there may be pitfalls in implementing them in each case. So we need to be very careful with the facts of the case and the data that is available in each scenario to determine how to appropriately assess cross-price elasticity.
Jacqueline Grice.
Yes, thank you. So key takeaway is quite simple from my perspective. For each of the 5 prongs that we talked about, and I know I missed a couple of them at the end, but I hope that everybody has the slides for product hopping was the key one that I didn't get a chance to cover, but you have that information now. That it's, these things aren't going away from FTC enforcement. In fact, I predict that they will continue to increase in enforcement. And so there's a real importance to becoming part of your company's, your organization's strategy, right? Insert yourself into the process, become part of it, help the process along, because there's a real opportunity up front to help shape whatever the strategy is with whatever those 5 prongs are, as far as what is the rationale for doing this? Could we do it a different way that could mitigate risk? Being smart about document creation and not inadvertently writing things down that could be viewed a different way later on by an enforcer who might be looking at the issue. So there's real benefit and opportunity to get in there early on counseling and really help shape and manage the program. And in the end, the success of the company on whatever the strategy is could depend on that.
And Dr. George Karenko.
So, and I think the takeaways for me are actually very similar, and that's you need to pay attention to the facts and circumstances of your case. You need to really dig into the supply chain, what's going on with the products at issue. When you're looking at class certification issues, even when there are an FTC decision, even when there is clearly some things that we assume there's conduct, even then you still need to look hard to make sure when you're trying to assess impact and damages that you've considered the relevant factors and that you haven't made assumptions rather than analyzing the data and the facts.